She started out just being forgetful, being nervous about things.
The neurologist was nice enough to have a consultation with my wife and I, in which he showed us the MRI of my mother's brain.
I took her on a trip, and we went to Alaska. It was just the two of us, and it was this great time.
And where his professional opinion was that my mother has onset dementia.
We get to the top of the stairs in the boat, and she didn't know where we were. And she didn't know how to get to our room.
We would go see him, and he would have notes all over the house and his medications. And so over the past 9 years, you know, we would see him, and he seemed to be doing just fine.
I said, well, doctor, this just doesn't make any sense to me, because the first night my mother was in here, she was lucid, she made sense. I mean, and this person in her room right now is not my mother. I don't understand what's going on.
It came out later that he was actually seeing little people, and they were coming and knocking on his door and living in his closet, and all kinds of strange and crazy things that he was seeing, but he didn't tell us about it.
He said, well, Robert, you know, sometimes this situation can be fragile to the point that trauma or shock or any little thing can just upset the delicate balance enough to the point that this is the result.
She fought with me a lot, and physically, not just mentally, physically.
He really wasn't watching TV. He wasn't listening to the radio. All the activities that he used to love to do, he just would sit and stare into space.
Every morning she got up, it was either she lost something, she couldn't find something, or someone did something to her during the night.
He just couldn't even concentrate on anything. To come down for dinner was a big issue for him.
After 10 months of going round and round and my mother becoming more and more forgetful, we still haven't had an MRI, and there's been no diagnosis of Alzheimer's, but we know it's Alzheimer's because she forgets what she says. She forgot who my son was one day.
We wanted him to at least eat with us, do something with us. So our whole idea of we were going to enjoy his company and go places and do things, we were so way off base on that. It just wasn't going to happen.
The emotional balance has really gotten to me big time. And it's affected my physical health. I lost about 10 pounds last year.
You know, I've talked to my friends and my sisters that everyone says I shouldn't feel guilty, but I do. How could we not know? You know, how could we let him pull the wool over our eyes that long of his actual condition? We had some really good times. I mean, it sounds pretty negative, but there were a couple of nights that we really had a good time, and I remember those. It was like we reconnected, and that was very, very good.
I guess now what I've learned is you need help.
Saving money, buy an insurance policy for a retirement home. Those are available now. I intend to get one.
Go to as many support groups as you possibly can and be very, very patient with them.
Get your parents to create for themselves a health directive. All
the little details of knowing what kind of medications your parents are on, asking them questions, you know, where's your will, where's the keys to your car.
My husband and I are working on that for us now, because you just never know, and we don't want our children to be in the position that I've been in.
The best thing to do, as hard as it is to put them in a assisted living, and if they will go. And that's usually the hardest thing to do, is to get them to go.
It made me feel angry, it made me feel frustrated, it made me feel insignificant, because there was nothing I could do to remedy it.